A regular handball game can turn violent. A regular basketball game can turn violent because of pride issue in the prison. Once I seen him coming out, I just stepped towards him, and then he backed in the cell. Then I just threw my hands up, and then he rushed, and then him got the 1-2 Costa Zoo. هذا حد العالم هذا طالب هذا راسخ والى اخره. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. To all our RipRight disciples, YouTubers, and viewers, welcome back to a new video on RipRight HD. And you already know what time it is. So this is a federal prison story when I was in the feds. Also, guys, listen, the weather is about to break, so make sure you text 718-865-2873. Text join so you can get in tune with the RipRight community text, and you're gonna get the locations and the time and the places where we're gonna be working out. So, you know, it's time to get back. This winter, we didn't take off, but we kind of took off of the link ups because we were focusing more on static movements, holds, and we were doing a lot of indoors, and we only came out like when it snowed and things like that. So because the weather is about to break, it's about to get crazy. We're mastering new moves as we speak. So let's get right into it. All right, guys. So I was in the feds, and I was locked up in federal prison in Philly. Now, I'm going to give you the story on why I was locked up in the feds in Philly in another video. But at this time, I'm in Philly in FDC, in the federal joint. Now, this is the holding facility. You know, if anybody knows anything about Philly, its population of Muslims is kathir. It's many. It's a lot of Muslims there. So, you know, the city, they say, of brotherly love. So while I'm in FDC, every other person is like a Muslim, even whether the ones that are practicing or not practicing, they're Muslim. So when you see a lot of black on black crime or just any kind of crime in general in Philly, for the most part, it's usually Muslims doing a lot of the crime because, you know, they're raised as Muslims. So, you know, it's like Jersey, or like say if Cali was mostly populated with Muslims, you would have blood Muslims, you would have Crip Muslims, they would be killing each other, and obviously all of them would be raised in the Islamic family. It's the same difference in Philly. The only thing is they're not really into gangs, they're more into streets, you know, and locations, South Philly, North Philly, you know, and things like that. So, you know, they're growing up, their family is Muslim, but they kind of, some of them are in the streets, and that's just what it is. But when I get into the FDC, you know, I'm getting well acquainted with a lot of the brothers on Deen. Some that's not even on Deen kind of gravitated toward me. A lot of people started to learn. It was a dope situation. So we had an imam in there. Obviously, he was from Philly. He was an older gentleman, and me and him didn't see eye to eye at first, and then eventually we kind of got in tune with each other, and you know, I eventually started giving the sermons, the Friday lectures, every now and again whenever he needed help and whatever have you. So at this point, I'm kind of like well established on the block, you know, and I mean, for the Muslims for the most part. So at this time, my faith and my iman is like here because there's so many Muslims. And then it was just, you know, the adhan was being called, the call to prayer was getting established in the morning, 4:45, 5 o'clock, no matter what it was, whether it's Ramadan or not. You would have a brother get up in the morning and call adhan under the door, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And, you know, that was what it was. It was official. We memorizing the Quran. So at this time, the reason why I'm saying this, brothers, is to show you where I was at in Islam as far as my iman. I was like here, you know. So alhamdulillah. So we used to play handball outside. We used to have little tournaments. We used to like do different things in the jail. We was confined to actually a block. So on that block they had outside where you go out to rec. So it was one basketball court, and it's either people were playing basketball right there. It was one little square, maybe I don't know, 20 by 20. It was a square like that, and it was on the housing unit. So it wasn't like we left the house and went to the gym, and it was one square like that, 20 by 20 maybe. It had a basketball court, and under the basketball court, there was the wall there, and that was the handball court. So it's either people played basketball. If nobody wasn't playing basketball and you wanted to play handball, you played handball. Or if nobody was out there, some people worked out outside, but we usually worked out on the block. Excuse me. So we had a handball tournament, and it was me and one brother at the end to battle to see who would win. And they was giving out prizes and things like that. So me and him was going hard. No freaky. So this is how it all started. And he had a major indictment, and he was the head of his indictment. And right now he got life in prison. To show you the type of dudes that I was dealing with. Alhamdulillah, he was a Muslim, and he was striving, and he was trying to learn, and he was getting better. But obviously in the streets, they was kidnapping, they was robbing, they was stealing, they was putting babies in the microwave. All kind of madness was going on in this dude's case. So he was pretty short. So sometimes they say the short man complex or whatever. So he serves, I believe. No, I serve. I'm serving. This is how it happened. I served the ball. Boom. No freaky. Then he comes, he hits the ball. Boom. Now I hit the ball. Boom. And then he goes and hits the ball. But now he's standing like on my back. No freaky, like mad close to me. I don't know what he was trying to do. So he on me. So as I go to swing, my whole shoulder, and I tell you, he was like a shorter individual, but he was nice in the handball. I bust his whole lip open. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't on purpose. Clear accident. But this goes to show you the kind of complex he had. So I went to reach like this, a quick hard swing, and I hit, it was my shoulder, literally, nothing else. Busting because he's on my like, he didn't give me no room. I guess I don't know what he was trying to do. Bust his lip open. He like that. So the game stopped, and people are watching. He's spitting blood. Boom. He leave out the joint. I'm apologizing. My fault, bro. It's not my fault. Bro, you on my back. You're not supposed to be that close to me. We're playing handball. This ain't a basketball game. Ain't no defense. You know what I'm saying? I guess he goes up, looks in the mirror, don't like how his looking, his lip is swollen. So me and another dude start playing because that game was done. That game got canceled out because me and him was supposed to battle. So we waiting to finish. So I'm just keep staying warm to see when he come back down. So me and another dude start playing. I think it was Mike. So boom, he come back down and he opened the door. He like, yo, Islam. I'm like, what's up? He like, yo, we got a rumble. And I'm like, rumble? It's like throwing me off. He Muslim, I'm Muslim. I'm not rumbling no Muslim one. And I'm not rumbling you if you was a non-Muslim either, because I hit you on accident. And at this time, as I said, I'm here. I'm focusing on going to the next prison, doing my time, staying out the way, memorizing the Quran. So he runs up, he opens the door and leaves. So I'm like, I gotta go talk to this dude. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, at this time, I'm giving the classes. I'm giving the speeches on Friday. So I see him run up to my cell. So I'm in the back in the corner. I got the last cell. So we in the cut. And if anybody know, that's like usually where the counselor room is, but the counselors ain't there all day. They come in maybe once or twice a week or whatever they do. So I'm in the tuck. So I run up behind him and he goes in my cell. So, the door is wide open now. So I come in the cell after them. So I'm like, yo, Habib, what's going on? He like, yo, put your hands up. I said, what? He said, yo, put your hands up. I'm like, listen, calm down. I bust your lip. It was an accident. Now we got to rumble. So I'm like, yo, listen, mind you, there's a Muslim from, it's another part in PA. It's not Philly. It's like not Rochester. I forgot what was the name. They had a big indictment too. It was another Muslim, like 1 or 2 cells down, named Charlie Ock. He's listening to the whole situation. Obviously, at that time, he was kind of like striving too. But mind you, he's just listening. Nobody came. Nobody didn't try to extinguish the situation. But I don't know all of this is going on at the time because I'm focusing on not trying to beat down on another Muslim or have a Muslim beat down on me or have anybody beat down on me in general, because I'm not going for that. However, I'm still a man. So he like, yo, listen, if you don't put your hands up, I'm going to swing on you. So he started to come towards me. So I'm like, listen, 𝗥𝗜𝗣𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗂𝗏 ala rislik, like, take it easy, take it easy. So he's coming towards me, and mind you, my cell is wide open, so I get out the cell. So now when I get out the cell, he kind of stops in the door. He like, yo, listen, I'm telling you, put your hands up. And he backs back in the cell. So now when he backs back in the cell, I come back in the cell, and I'm trying to talk to him again, but I'm giving him his distance. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, my hand is up because him ready to do the 1-2 if him have to. So he like, yo, I'm going to tell you one more time. Put your hands up. And then he threw his joints. He started coming towards me. And him, once again, I backs up out the cell. Then he tells me, listen, come in the cell and put your hands up. If you don't, I'm going to rumble you out the cell and we out of here. Now, this is what happens if you have a fight outside the cell and it's noticed by the police officers or whatever have you. You go to the box. Mind you, I am good. Like I told you, I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to do my good time. You know, dip out the jail whenever I get my time. Just leave, deal with my situation. I'm not trying to lose no good time, which I end up losing good time on the back end anyway for fighting another Muslim. And I'm gonna tell you why that happened in another story. So I go back in the cell. Now he said, yo, put your hands up. If you get out the cell again, we gonna shake outside the cell. So he rushes me again. I backs up out the cell. Then he start coming out the cell. And then, you know me, same OG, would have been low key. I goes step towards him like, Niznagid, you not about to make the place hot. Meaning you're not about to fight me outside the cell, have the police come pull a pin, and then we both go to solitary confinement because you're being so ignorant. So now in this situation, I'm not going to run to the Muslims. His 𝐁𝐄𝐑 was there, his other people was there, because it's man time at the end of the day. However, I'm being a Muslim, I'm trying to be a good Muslim, I'm trying to be, you know, upon Quran and the Sunnah. So I'm trying to alleviate the situation. And mind you, before that kind of thinking, that kind of iman, I would have just bust him down. You understand what I'm saying? But at this point in my life, I'm there like, yo, listen. So once I seen him coming out, I just stepped towards him, and then he backed in the cell. Then I just threw my hands up, and then he rushed, and then him got the 1-2 Him short dude, my arms long, so you know that song. So I'm dusting him, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really going crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And mind you, he has nothing to lose. He's fighting he's looking at life, 33 to life. He's looking at a major time. He's the head of the indictment. You know, I'm headed home. You know, I gotta go to actually a federal prison and do the rest of my time once I get sentenced. I'm looking at about 46 months, 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I got about 6-7 months in. So I do what I do to him. Boom, 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 boom. Then I try to back up. And then, you know, I guess the dudes them kind of like alarm the Muslims. which was one of his codees, finally came running upstairs, and me and him tussling again. And then one of another Muslim brother that that I know like real strong as well came up there. Then 𝗪𝗏𝗥𝗘, and it was a couple of other people. They rushed in the cell and kind of like broke it up. He was a little swole up, and then already his lip was bust, so him looked like him did some damage to him. And I didn't want to. I bust your lip on accident. But this is what's crazy about the situation. A regular handball game can turn violent. A regular basketball game can turn violent because of pride issues in the prison. So you'll be fighting your Muslim brother. You'll be fighting somebody you was eating with. Mind you, you and him sharing meals for the last 5 months. Next thing you know, y'all rumbling because something happened in front of a crowd. People don't know how to be like, yo, yeah, that was an accident, my fault. Or you say something to them crazy and it's a crowd there. People start to they start to get ahead of themselves and let the pride get in the way. And a little bit after that, I was sleeping with like my chairs hanging on the door. So like if you open the door, my chairs are fall bling, and I get up fast. I started sleeping a little different and gauging the situation. And eventually we kind of like spoke, hashed it out. And it was cool because he realized what he did was wrong. But however, look at that environment that you're dealing with. You're in there for 2 years, 3 years, and then you're around and surrounded with people that have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. So they don't mind taking your life. So listen, youngins, you know what I'm saying? Adults, whoever you is, if you still gang banging and you're 60, go ahead and call it quits, man. Because this jail thing, this prison thing is no game. That could have got even worse because, like I said, I was dealing with a person that eventually was going to be a lifer. You know what I'm saying? And Allah Ta'ala granted me success in that situation. And, I felt like I handled it justifiably. So, guys, in the comments, tell me what you would have done in this situation. If you was a Christian and this was supposedly your Christian brother, or you Muslim and this is your Muslim brother, how you would have dealt with that situation. Or if you was a blood and this was another blood, how would you have dealt with it? Stay tuned, stay rip, 6-pack, big back, big facts.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a lump of flesh, a piece of meat. إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. And when that lump of flesh